Hey all, Tony Bing here, hello and welcome back to another guide video for Marvel Strike Force. Now we're heading back to the Dark Dimensions again tonight. Last night we managed to finish Node 1 with one team and we didn't have any members downed either, so I was really happy with that. Tonight I managed to 100% the node using one team. I do lose some members just towards the end through some bad RNG, but the fact we've been able to do it in one go shows that the strategy used hopefully solid and can help out any players that are struggling with this particular node. So what I'll do to give you an overview of how this works is firstly I'll run through the characters I'm using and I'll show you their power levels. I'll then run through the different waves and when the enemies drop in and the priority you want to attack them, and then finally we have the gameplay. Now again, the gameplay was about 40 or 45 minutes, so I'll cut this down and I'll show the most important parts, but we start off anyway showing off the characters I used here. We start off here then with 7 different enemies. Now the name of the game here is really heal block because all of these characters can cast it on you, so you need to make sure you just hold on to your Night Nurse heals and use them once the heal block is worn off. Now a lot of the characters are really dangerous here, so your priority I would say would be to take out the hand assassins first. I think they're the most dangerous characters out of this lot. After you've done that, you want to take out Mordo and that will cause the next wave to kick in. Now I'll mention for this particular wave that you want to burn down the Hydra Scientists and the Kree Reapers as well. Get them as low as you can, so it means when the next wave kicks in you can quickly take them out, and it does make it easier. I'll also mention the fact that you want to use your stuns really quite strategically here. If you have any characters that don't have debuffs on them or anything like that, then you want to stun them, especially if you see a character with the likes of a fence up and you don't have the chance to seal it with Black Widow. Make sure you get a stun on them, because otherwise the chances are they'll one-shot your character. But let's check out the enemies we'll face once we get onto wave 2. So with this wave you'll see there's 8 enemies here, but the way it actually works is a bit odd. It's 4 random enemies that will jump in, so it can make it difficult to actually choose the order. But I would say when these particular characters come in, you want to make sure you stun and lock down Star-Lord, and he's your #1 target to take out because he can give you a lot of trouble with that ultimate and the chain. After taking him out you want to get rid of Winter Soldier as well. If you slow and stun him same as you would with Star-Lord, you're able to do that due to the fact we've got 2 stuns in our kit with Black Widow and Spider-Man. After that you're taking out Mordo. Following up from Mordo you then get the Hand Assassin, so that leaves you with 4 characters. You've got the Kree Reaper, Hydra Scientist, the Ravager Healer and also Ronin as well. Now the reason the Healer and Ronin have got the big X's over them is you want to make sure under any circumstance you do not take these characters out. Get them low, but you want to have them in the final stage because the Ravager Healer really doesn't do much at all, and Ronin, whilst he can be relatively dangerous with the ability block, he's so easy to actually slow and stun that you can almost keep him perma-locked down here. So let's check out who we face in the last wave, and what I'll do is I'll carry over any enemies we'll have from this wave as well. For this final wave then you have 2 Winter Soldiers and 2 Kree Reapers that drop in as well, so certainly dangerous characters, but Winter Soldier being slow he is relatively easy to control. Now if we look at the order of the characters you want to take out, we firstly have characters that would burn down really low in the last stage. So you've got the Kree Reaper, then you've got the Hydra Scientist. They're not really dangerous characters but their health is low, so get them out just to give you a little bit more breathing space. After you've done that you want to focus on the Winter Soldiers. It doesn't matter which one you focus on, just burn them down as quickly as you can and try and keep them stunned, because if they can get that ultimate off and it's not on cap with his defense up, then that will likely be a one shot. After you've done that you're taking out the Kree Reapers. Once you've taken them out it's really easy street. You've got Ronin and you've got the Ravager Healer as well. Although that's #7 and #8, you could really take out either one of them, because once you get to that point it's similar to last night where we had the 2 Kingpins. It's essentially a win. You could probably hit auto and you'd still be able to do it. So that's the order you want to take the enemies out in anyway. So now I'll show off the gameplay, and as mentioned this took about 45 minutes, so I've cut this down and I'll just show off the really important parts here. So this first part of the match here can be really pretty tricky because you have Mordo casting his ultimate and you have the heal block, and then you have various other characters who their skills will actually be fully charged as well, so you can get a lot of heal block put on you. If you do put up the defense up on cap then it is increasing your resistance as well, so you will find throughout this video occasionally when I've got the defense up you actually see resist, so that can really help. So you can try and time it. You could potentially count how many turns Mordo's got. For me, that's a bit too much micromanaging and I would probably mess it up, so I just really tried to get the defense up as often as I could and cross my fingers, to be honest there. But you can see we've got the defense down on a lot of characters. We've chosen to stun the Hydra Scientist because it's really a character that's just about to get their turn, because you're hoping with the speed up and slow down you can get a stun on another character if their speed bar is really quite low there. But it's just a case of focusing on the hand assassins here and taking them out as quick as you can. There you go, you can see Mordo doing his ultimate there now. The reason I don't prioritise Mordo too much is that yes, the heal block can be a bit of a pain, but when it comes to his ultimate, it's not a major problem. If you get blinded or anything like that, then you're not going to be able to do any damage to the enemy, but you can still heal yourself, and the healing is probably the most important factor you want to be in control of. In a match like this, it's not about taking the enemy down quickly, so a missed combat turn isn't a big problem, whereas a missed healing turn can be. So that's why, again, you want the defense up on cap. But what we'll do, I'm working my way down with the hand assassin, so I'll actually jump forward a bit here. So we've just about taken out the hand assassin on the right hand side here, and you can see the Hydra Scientist is pretty low due to all the chains via Spider-Man. Let's see. In fact, most of the characters, if not all of them, have chains or splash damage. Quake, Cap, the only one that doesn't would be Black Widow, unless she's casting her ultimate, then that'll drop the bleeds, but the bleeds actually really work well with the defense up there. So once more, we'll jump forward till we take out this second hand assassin. So we have the second hand assassin really low here, same with the Hydra Scientist, and Mordo's getting low as well. So once you get to this particular stage and you've got the hand assassins out, it does become a lot easier. And like the level we done last night, once you get less enemies just before the next wave comes in, you want to slow things down a bit and work down the enemies and get them into the red as much as you can. So let's see how far we actually get them down before the next wave drops in. We've actually managed to do really well here in regards to getting the characters down into the red. You can see the Scientist has a sliver of health. It's actually the same for the other Scientists as well, and the Reapers are really quite low here. Now the other wave should have dropped in, but we give it a second and I use a skill I believe, and then they're just going to drop in for us. There we go. So let's see, that was Ronin, Winter Soldier, Hand Assassin, and I believe it was one Kree Reaper as well. Yeah, there he is at the back here with his full health. So what we want to do from this point is take out the Hydra Scientists and that Kree Reaper because their health is all really quite low, and then from there we'll have more characters drop in. So again, let's jump forward a bit here. So we're now at the point where we've just about got 5 characters left. Now it's when it's 4 characters that are remaining, the next wave will drop in, and we know in that next wave we've got the likes of Star-Lord and Mordo who are pretty dangerous. So once again, what we want to do is just work all these characters down, get their health as low as we can before the next wave comes in, so we can then quickly wipe them out. You'll see I've got my slows and so on up in characters as well. Can be quite hard to get the slow up on Ronin because his resistance is so high, but you really want to try and apply it to him because with his attack speed, I think it's possibly 73 or something in the region of that. If you apply slow to him, then he's not moving for the majority of the match. He's really easy to control there. So with the characters I've got left at the moment anyway, what you want to be doing for sure is using your stun on Winter Soldier and also using your stun on Ronin as well when he's slowed, because one thing Ronin can do is he can cleanse all your debuffs and then your characters are no longer slowed, they've no longer got the defense down on them either. But once again, let's jump forward here. So we're down to 4 characters here. When we carry out this attack, you can see this final wave come in. So what we want to do then, you want to burn down that Winter Soldier as quickly as you can. After that, we've got the Kree Reaper with the health down at yellow, and then we want to keep Ronin up. I know his health is really low and it's in red, but we want to keep him till the final stage. So what you want to do once Winter Soldier's down is start using your stuns from Black Widow and Spider-Man on Star-Lord. Use them on Ronin occasionally when you need to so he doesn't do that cleanse, and then you can use them on Mordo as well. The other characters really aren't too dangerous and we don't have to worry about them. So we'll jump forward again. This final wave that's about to drop in, then it drops in when you've got 5 characters remaining, so that means there are 9, so this last stage can be pretty tricky, but we've made it slightly easier for ourselves by the fact we've got Ronin and the Ravager Healer as well. I can never remember his name, that's why I'm calling him the Ravager Healer. So we've almost took out the Hydra Scientist and the Kree Reaper, and that takes us down to 7 characters. And also Mordo's looking pretty low as well there, so it's really the Winter Soldiers, they're the big threats here. Keep the Winter Soldiers and also keep the Ronin locked down so he's not doing his cleanse. Now I do actually lose a character pretty soon, so I'll jump forward to show that. It's just really bad luck when this happens. With a ton of debuffs on the enemy then, and we just cast defense up on ourselves, so we're looking nice. And then we get all these attacks firing off one after the other, and we get a Winter Soldier as well. You can see Cap's health just in the red here. A few characters whose turn bars are creeping towards their turn just about to activate, so there's not a massive amount I could do. So let's see what happens here. There we go, so that's Cap taken out. So from this point on we'll probably get about another 15 minutes or so and we've got no tank, but of course I do manage to do it. We've got quite a few of the characters in red anyway, so let's jump forward because I lose one more character here. So this is just before the point where I actually lose Quake, but if you think of the amount of enemies we've seen just a moment ago, we've managed to take down a ton of them, and that's without a tank at all. It's all really down to, you've got the regen and Night Nurse, which is popping very often, although not as often because we're not having the energy potentially generated for her. It's really about using the slows on Quake when we had her. Unfortunately she's dropped now, and using the stuns to control the more dangerous enemies, which would be Winter Soldier, or the 2 Winter Soldiers that they were there. So we'll jump forward once more for the final section. The final Kree Reaper here is nearly down. It was really easy to control them with the defense down and also the double stun. The double stun really is absolutely fantastic in this level, and it's one that I'll be trying out a bit more. I wasn't sure about dropping Spidey in, but he certainly has worked very well. So there we go. And this is when I got this anomaly detected. I was pissed. I really was. I still probably am a little bit. So this means that once I hit restart, I've lost all the progress for the node. So I put a message into support. I'm hoping they can reinstate it because I don't want to have to go through that again, because this did take about 45 minutes, and although I've edited out a lot of the footage, at certain points it was really getting pretty hairy and pretty tense, and some characters would have their health in the red and they would have heal block on, but I managed to pull it back. So I think there was an element of luck, but really the team did help us as well. Now, like the last video, if you want to see the entire version of this updated, and again it's on for about 45 minutes and so, let me know and I will look to update it. It is pretty fun. I would say it's probably more fun than the one I done the night before, because there's, as mentioned, a lot more tense moments in it where I almost get defeated. But we'll finish on this screen, unfortunately. I hope this video has been helpful. Let me know how you're getting on with the Dark Dimension as well, and what teams you're using. And thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you all again soon.